Gaelle, how is it going today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, Danny. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to really dive into our conversation. I love just your immediate passion, your humility, and the value that you bring to our profession. I know we met at the Rocky Mountain Information Security Conference
Yeah.
officially.
Yes.
I think we're already synced up on LinkedIn. So, with that being said, I'm going to give you the floor to give us a little background on who Gael is.
Okay, thank you. It's an honor for me to be with you today on your podcast. Being a guest, thank you for having me. With Gaelle Khonda is a 36-year-old woman originally from West Africa, Burkina Faso, moved to the US back in 2008 on a student visa. Went to school in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia State, where she did
Mhm.
an associate in business management, bachelor in finance, and then went just for cybersecurity. And went to grad school for information system audit and control. Today, I work as a cybersecurity professional in Colorado. I speak French, my dialect, and then English. I like to say that I'm still learning English because people
Mhm.
like to say, where did accent come from? That's why I'm telling you guys where I'm from. I'm a mother of a 6-year-old, Ismail. I'm also very active in cybersecurity in Colorado. I'm passionate about cybersecurity and fashion. I've been in cybersecurity since 2017. I work in governance, risk, and compliance, but before that, I was an IT auditor. I'm a
Mhm.
certified information system auditor, and I'm also a certified information system manager. I also sat on the board of ISACA Denver, and I'm also the She Tech Ambassador for Colorado. I also volunteer with RACIS, Women in Cybersecurity, and I always volunteer in my neighborhood, like school or nursing
Mhm.
home for cybersecurity awareness.
Kind of work backwards.
Okay.
An immigrant coming into this country, it's already hard to, culture shock, I'm
Yes.
sure. But where did your passion for IT and cybersecurity come from? Where did it originally start?
That's a great question. Like I told you previously, I had a bachelor in finance and I was working at a bank as a business analyst, but I was still struggling to pay my bills. And I was like,
Mhm.
the American dream, is that the American dream? Come here, go to school and get a job. This is not working for me. So I started looking and people were like, oh, go to a medical school. But it was not, medical school in the US is very expensive. And I was like, ah. And I went when I worked for a CTA firm. And then they're like, oh, if you like auditing, why don't you do IT audit? I'm like, what is IT audit? And I did some research and I saw like that my school had a master in information system, audit and control in 1 year track. Okay, let's sign up. And then after graduating, I got a job in Colorado. When I moved, it was still, they gave me the opportunity to start without any background in cybersecurity as an IT consultant. I would say 95% male. And I was like, huh, is that for me? I kept digging, kept looking, and it was hard. I was not getting help. I was getting assignment, but I did not understand. I ended up being fired. But I did not give up. I lost my brother and I had a lot of stuff happening in my personal life. So it was hard for me to focus. But I am a lion. I didn't give up. I always come back. I started going to conferences and then I was not seeing like female. It was rare. And also a black female. Maybe I should go back to finance. Maybe I should go back and study for my CTA. And then
Mhm.
now I kept digging and start going to conferences and realized that all these people don't know everything. But I don't have no one that will guide me. What should I focus on? And then since I did not have anybody that will guide me, I said, okay, I will take the lead. So I start emailing, I saw that you're on the board of this organization. I was at your
Mhm.
conference. When is your next conference? Should I come and volunteer? How can I get the slide from the previous speakers? And then this is how I did. And then I had like feedback. and I got free training, and I started to volunteer with the ISACA board, and then eventually I landed up like 2, 3 jobs, and then I kept studying for certification because before COVID, employer love to see like certificate on your resume. And it's something that I did not know. And I found out about it by going to experience to conferences.
Yeah.
And then I become passionate about it. And like, what about those future Gaelle? So I start volunteering with the board, start putting up people to come with me, and then I'm still doing it and I'm loving it because I'm still learning every day, especially in our field. There is something new to learn.
I really admire, I think, your tenacity and your thinking about your career at the time in finance. Is this the American dream? Making that calculation. One of my former guests on the show did kind of a risk-based analysis that if I continue this route, I'm going to have to take a pay cut because they're transferring into cybersecurity. And you did it a little bit different. I think that is great critical thinking skills and kind of risk-based analysis that doesn't really deal with cybersecurity, but just risk-based for our personal
Yeah.
lives and career and our betterment. So I really admire that. You started doing a lot of great work. One, learning, but actually even before that, you touched upon a very major topic or theme in cybersecurity about the lack of representation in cybersecurity. So you said you're a Black woman and all you were seeing was men at the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Is this right for me? Right?
Mm.
Can you walk me through the step? You asked yourself, is this right? A lot of people would probably stop. They would say, "Ooh, this isn't
Yeah.
what I want to do."
It's true. And I must admit that I almost gave up, but giving up was not an option. After maternity leave, they were sending me out of state to go audit. And my son was barely 6 weeks. And I barely knew people in Colorado. And
Yeah.
because all my coworkers were men, they did not understand. I had to leave my son with a babysitter that I barely met. And
Wow.
I had to leave like Colorado and go to Seattle and come back. You know? I said like if they were like female at the top, they will understand. They'll be saying, no, we cannot send her to go audit someone out of state. She
Mm.
has a newborn, you know? Also, I was not technical. They will use like some word, some acronym. And I'm like, I'm not dumb. They know you don't understand, but they are using it just to trick you. And as an auditor, you will ask them something and they will ask you a question. It was a challenge, but today I'm not afraid of that. I love it because it make me enhance my skills, you know? When you ask me something, I will tell you, oh, let me Google this. This is a new term that I never heard before. But before, I couldn't do that, you know? So I
Yeah.
learned. So if I can do it, anybody else can do it. Don't let them scare you. And also, the representation is still not there. It's still not where it's supposed to be. That's also one of the reasons why I'm not giving up, so we can see more female, more Black, more Hispanic, more Indian at the top. Because to be honest, our industry is also who you know. Because everybody can get this degree. Everybody can study and go past this certification. You need someone to train you for the job. Each job is different. So what differentiates someone from someone else is who you know. I always tell people that if we don't have more cement at the top or more Black, it's gonna be hard for those graduating too. So this is one of the reasons why I'm passionate about it. I cannot wait to see the difference that I will be making.
So during your early part of your career, did you have any mentors? Did you have any sponsors kind of helping you to take this certification and not that one, or take this education route and not that one?
Unfortunately, I did not have mentor. That's why when I go to conference and I see people asking me questions, I'm happy. And I always tell them that I wish I was doing what you were doing while I was in school. I knew about ISACA because they had a student membership. but I was not aware of the benefit of having a mentor. And then when I was doing my master one, the class I was taking was for the CISA, the CISA exam. So
Yeah.
in my head, if I have my degree and I have this certification, it was going to be a easy, easy click for me to just get a
Yeah.
job. I did not know that it was more than that, you know. I passed this the third time. So after failing twice, I went on LinkedIn and I searched for people that had this certification. The woman, Veronica Rose, she was on the way in Kenya in Africa, but she's also on the board of Isaac. And she was really nice and started giving me answer. Do this, that. She even wrote about the Caesar. I also reached out to other people that I did not know. Just on LinkedIn. I'm like, sorry to bother you. I failed my CISC and I'm about to go take it again. Is there anything um I need to be doing so I can pass it? And then these people slowly became my mentors.
Mm.
Also met some women, Quintana, even my actual boss, Julie. I did not officially gave them the title of mentor, but they are my mentor now. I see a job that I'm interesting. I will ask them, do you think this match with my profile? Oh, I'm trying to be like you in 5 years. What should I be doing? Oh, someone asked me for Y and Z. I told her X, but do you think I should have said X instead? And sometimes we will debate and and I'm glad that I have these people in my life.
One thing that we don't do more of is acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, right? And that's okay. And, picking up the phone or texting somebody and say, hey, or in your case, sending a message on LinkedIn to say, hey, I need help.
Mhm.
And a lot of people view that as a weakness, but the way you did that, that's a strength. Reaching out and saying, hey, I need help. It's not a vulnerability. And if people view that as a vulnerability, it tells me more about them and their view of
Mhm.
the world and people than the people reaching out. Because there is kind of a Spanish saying
Mm.
that if you don't say anything, nobody's going to hear you,
Yeah.
right? So I really love that you did reach out. You embraced that you were struggling with this particular certification. So I really love that about our industry, that we're willing to help out when we do receive that help. And I know everybody's busy, everybody is working a lot of hours. They have a family, they have kids to raise, but 30 minutes out of the week, that's not a lot
It can make a
to,
difference. That is why when I was studying for my CISM, I came up with this idea. I remember that I promised to people that if I pass my CISA, I will give back. So when I was studying for my CISM, I had like a light bulb moment. Let me find a great instructor and look for sponsor and have a CISM bootcamp. And it was a
you know,
success. I have over 50 people sign up. A 3 days bootcamp from Friday to Sunday. I was surprised. I had people came up from out of states because it was only $25. And we all study all domain for 3 days, like 8 to 5, 8 to 5. I feel like if everybody was willing to give 15 to 20 or 30 minutes of their time, like you said, will make a great difference. Because one of the barrier also is the cost.
this is great. But I want to go back a little bit. Based on our pre call, you had an amazing story that I want you to share, and I'll set it up for everyone.
Okay.
You were in an elevator.
Yes, so let me tell you the story. So after I was fired, I just lost my brother that was a medical doctor. And
Mm.
then it was really hard for me. I did not have any family in Colorado. And I'm a first generation immigrant. I moved here without knowing anybody. So I couldn't give up. I did not have a job. And then the only laptop that I had to apply for a job broke down. I was using my phone on Indeed. I was doing DoorDash, Instacart, delivery grocery or food. And then one day, DoorDash took me to this nice building in downtown Denver, and I was delivering food. But it was the fanciest elevator that I never seen in my life. I did not know how to use the elevator. And there was a lady asking me where I'm going. And I told her what floor I was going. And then she offered to help me. And then she asked me if I was leaving here. I'm like, obviously, I don't live here if I don't know how to use your elevator. I am delivering food. And she's like, okay. And she was very nice. And then she helped me deliver my food. And on the way back, she asked me if I need help going down. And I'm like, yes. And sometimes being tried is sometimes good. So I asked her, she was wearing her badge. So I asked her, oh, are you coming back from work? What do you do? And then she told me, I'm like, where do you work? She told me where she works. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, they called me from Canada 2 months ago. She said, you? I said, yes, me. I went to school. I went to undergrad and grad. And she said, why delivering food? I'm like, I'm still looking. And then usually they would tell you to send them an email. They will give you their card. She did not do that. She's asked me to give her my email and I forget about it. I kid you not even a week later, I got an email from that company in Inglewood. I'm not going to mention them because they're not sponsoring this. The first paragraph, they said that someone interviewed me for an IT compliance position. The first paragraph. The second paragraph, they said that you met this lady in her neighborhood and we would like you to know that she passed the message. Within 2 weeks, I had an offer letter. I mean, I had an interview with them, but I had an offer letter. Just to tell you that, never give up. That by delivering food, you will get your next IT job. Sometimes when I give up, I'm like, oh no, there is so much in store. There's a saying from my country that if God said that you're gonna have hundreds no before you getting your yes, you better start getting your no's now. Anybody looking for a job, I just want you to know that in cybersecurity, even the chief information security officer also looking for a new job. So everybody is in the game. So don't give up. Volunteer when you can. Keep learning. There is YouTube video. Mingle. Apply. Do some projects. And I'm sure that after all of this, something will happen.
So, Gaelle, I really love that story because, again, it's
I still have the
serendipitous.
email. I can send you the email. It's like something I will remember, I will never forget about it.
It's just an amazing story, right? That you're working, you're continuing to put in that effort, and then just being at the right place at the right time.
Yes, it's important being at the right place at the right time too.
There's another facet to that because you could be at the right place at the right time, but you're not ready mentally for that, or you
True.
don't have the skill sets.
True.
But you already had those skill sets. You still need to take advantage of those opportunities based on your background or your curious nature to learn and grow. In this case, learning about cybersecurity. As you're talking, I'm like, oh, you have to mention that because I think it will resonate with
Yes,
a lot of
it
people.
is. It is going to resonate. I will never think that I can get an IT job while doing food delivery. And she did not ask me for nothing. When I start working, I went on She. I looked for her and I thanked her. She was not even in my department. You see how you can change someone's life?
It's just helping people out in
Yes.
need, even though they might not ask for it.
Yes, do it. And trust me, you always come back. I have the Buddhist spirit. It always comes back. Nothing goes to waste.
Switching topics a little bit, I know we're going to be talking about certifications, and we kind of hinted at that. But the way I want to frame this is, if you have a transitioning professional wanting to get into cyber, or a student, and they ask you, what certification should I take to get into cyber? What do you tell them?
Okay, we're going to have two scenarios. I had someone reaching out to me as a pharmacist that didn't want to come to cyber. And I'm like, you a pharmacist? Why do you want to come to cyber? He said he has trying and he heard that you can work remote and make extra money. I'm like, you're coming to cyber for the wrong reason. So the first question I always ask, why do you want to come to cyber? If it's for the money, just stay in pharma, stay in your field. If it's someone who don't tell me that is coming to cyber for the money, I'm like, what's your background? What did you study? Oh, you did not go to college. Okay, Do you have at least have your high school diploma? Do you have access to YouTube? Go and learn networking and see if it's something you like, because the base is networking. I had to go back and learn networking. I did finance, IT auditing, and I did not understand how like the connection work and stuff like that. So I had to go back and learn networking. So I would tell them, go and watch it. If it's something you like, go for it. If you're a student, I guess you studied computer science, or now they have like, when I was in school, they did not have a cybersecurity to measure. Cybersecurity is a life learning journey. You'll be learning all the time. What topic did you like? Did you like IT audit? Did you like networking? Pick an area and try to master it, because you cannot master everything. Look for internship. If you have the privilege to do it, even an unpaid one, do it, because school wants you to get your degree, but employer want to see the experience. Before coming, like all the recruiter, them call you, oh, do you have a CISA? Oh, do you have a CISSP? Oh, okay, we're looking for someone that has the CISSP. Okay,
Right.
good luck. But now, a lot of people have this certification, so the experience matter. So try to build your own lab at home, do some project, and also go out and volunteer, go out and network. Like there are so many organizations here, CSA, CTA, WICIS, ISACA, ISSA. Try to find your niche and volunteer, and then you will get your foot at the door. But don't go and pay a lot of money for a certification thinking that you will get a job. With study, there are a lot of people that are giving free voucher right now, but study, learn, volunteer, network, and I promise you, you will learn something. Do not think that by passing a certification will give you a job in today's world. That's what I think. Because I have
No,
a lot
I
of
think
certification. I know what I'm talking about.
I appreciate that insight, Gal. And I think you're definitely right when it comes to these certifications. And it's understanding what aspect of cybersecurity you want to get into, because
Mhm.
it's a big field.
Mhm.
Like the analogy that I use is, you want to be in the medical field. Okay, what part of the medical field? Do you
Mhm.
want to be a medical doctor where you do surgery?
No.
Do you want to, deal with any other facet
Mhm.
associated with the medical field? So it's one understanding. The other point that you mentioned is going to YouTube. Free information. If you want to be a hacker into pen testing,
Mhm.
red team, purple teaming,
Yes.
just type that out, right? And
Mhm.
that is free. Don't
Free.
spend money. After you go through a couple of videos, you might say, yeah, this
Yeah, it's
isn't
not
for
for
me.
me.
I don't want to do that.
Me, I like it because it's so innovative. I get bored easily.
Mhm.
So I like that the fact that it changes all the time. So it keeps me busy. That is one of the reasons why that I love cybersecurity. But some people like repetitive tasks. If you don't like change, I don't think cybersecurity is for you. What do you think?
I agree. If you don't like change, then you're going to struggle in life, because that's all life is, right? I've had people in the past thinking, oh,
Mm.
I don't like change. I don't like change. Well, it's going to be hard being a human being that does not experience
Yeah.
change. When we look at job descriptions,
Yeah.
it says you need all these certifications, you need um, this education. What are your thoughts on those job descriptions?
Anybody can be successful in cybersecurity. You don't need a degree to work in cybersecurity. You need to have a foundation, because this certification is not hands-on. If you know a little bit of IT and you study, you can go and take this certification. So if you see a job description asking you for a certification that you don't have, keep applying. Even if you have the experience and not have the certification, forget the certification, but apply for the
Mm.
position. You can even put on your resume. You have like AI looking at the resume, right? So if they see that you have the exam, If you are studying for a certification and not ready, you can even put that below your education section. And I feel like it's the
Right.
experience. Don't let having a certification be a gatekeeper. The most successful people that I met when I was an IT consultant in cybersecurity were people that study sociology, psychology, biology. I kid you not then.
Individuals from different
Yes.
backgrounds think differently, right? They look at the
Yes.
problems that if we've been in IT or security for 30 plus years,
Mhm.
we're going to be biased. We're going to be thinking one way. And that's why I'm definitely with you, bringing in more of that diversity of
Mhm.
thought, that cultural renaissance that we
Mhm.
need in cybersecurity, so we can look at these problems in a different way and find better, or at
Mhm.
least maybe newer solutions that not necessarily will solve everything, but at least give us new ideas to test to see the potential of it solving our biggest challenges. So I definitely love that. So let's transition into the biggest word of the century, generative artificial
Intelligence,
intelligence,
AI.
Gen AI. So
Well,
from a macro perspective, well, naturally, let's do it this way. From a cybersecurity perspective, is it good or is it bad?
I think it's good. I know that people don't like change. So some people don't like AI. I think I told you that before, that we have to accept AI because AI is here to stay. And AI did not come up this year or last year. AI had been here for a while. People have been using AI for like since 2015, you know? Like we had like customer service using AI, but they were not just talking about it. So
Mhm.
AI is here to stay. The bad guys are using AI to do some hacking. So they're using AI to find some new tool how to hack, you know? So we need to learn AI and adapt some policy around it. AI is not here to take our jobs. AI is here to take the job of the people that are choosing to use AI.
And you actually beat me to the punch because my next follow up question was, if somebody comes to you, will AI take my job? But I love the way you
As AI, are you using AI? No. Do you know how to use AI? No. I guess AI is here to take your job then because AI is here to take the job of the people who refuse to use AI or not. And then I feel like AI will also create jobs.
I think historically, just technology revolutions as a whole
In
has always been, and I know there's some arguments against the betterment for society. There was a picture of, I forgot what town it was or what year, but it was early in the 20th century. So
Mhm.
shortly after the automobile came out. So let's say 1950, there is a street, and let's call it New York.
Mhm.
There is nothing but horse and buggies in one car. 10 years later, that same street,
Or
it was flipped. It was nothing but automobiles, nothing but cars, and one horse and buggy. So their technology quickly changed where, the horse and carriage, the horse and buggy, that industry probably, if they didn't innovate, probably went away. But then now this new technology was just revolutionary, at the time. And I think it's the same way. But the only thing that I would caution, at least from my perspective,
okay.
where are they getting this data? Is it a diverse set of data? And I'll use an example. The medical profession, Gen AI, will help us solve Alzheimer's for any of these horrible diseases
Yes.
that are affecting us, that they might find medication that reduces that or maybe even eliminate it.
Mm-hmm.
But where is that data set coming from? Is it primarily from first world countries?
You don't know.
So, right. I guess my assumption would be that it's only coming from first world countries. Now,
Mhm.
second and third world countries,
That's the
that
downside
data,
of AI.
right, right. So there is this pro and cons that we need to balance. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to
But
AI,
I feel that we should also, I don't know who is in charge, you should also fight for them to have a diverse data.
Agreed. That's hard to do. Again, my personal opinion, because it's these technocrats in Silicon Valley, primarily males, that are
Choosing.
dominating this space. So I know we're coming up to a close. So a couple of final questions for
Yeah.
you, Gaelle. How would you summarize your experience within cybersecurity? What has surprised you about the industry?
Surprised me at the end of the day is the fact that it's still not diverse, even though we're hearing everywhere, oh, diversity in cybersecurity. That's the biggest surprise that I have.
Not to put you on the spot, how do we get better in that regard?
And I think I have two word for you. Represent and inspire. It's not easy. Trust me, it's not. But you represent and inspire, and people will follow your path.
I love that insight. I'm definitely going to start using that a little bit more in my discussions with people and leaders within our industry. Because I think you're right, Gaelle. We need to inspire the next generation and
Yeah.
have that representation at the
Yes.
end of the day. If you had to sum up our conversation today, what would be some key points that you would want the audience to take away?
Giving up is never an option. Then you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Choose wisely, network, keep learning.
And with that being said, learning. So the last question I always ask my guest, and I got this from a different podcast. I love reading. Quick funny story.
Mhm.
I put on LinkedIn my summer reading, I think 5 or 6 books.
Okay.
I haven't started any of them because I found 4 new books.
Really?
Yeah,
And how do you
I
get
have
the
a
title
problem.
from your books? How do you know which book to read?
So a lot of, I listen to podcasts.
Mhm.
I look at the New York Times
Mm.
book section to see what books are coming out. And it doesn't have to be related to technology or cybersecurity. Business books, leadership books, fiction books, anything to give me an inspiration,
Mm.
to help me learn new
Mhm.
things. So with that being said, what book are you currently reading or you've recently read that
You
you
know,
would like to share?
that's a great question because I was not a reader. I hate reading. I found out that I'm learning from books stuff that I never learned in school or college in
Mm.
cybersecurity. I'm currently reading 2 books, and then one of them is my third time. It's The Think and Grow Rich of Napoleon Hill. Oh my God, you need to read this book. It's about faith, persistence, mindset. It talks about Charles Schwab, Thomas Edison, like the story are in this book. And everything, the summary is in this book is everything is possible. It's all started with our mind. There's another book that I'm reading. I don't remember the name of the author, but it's a misconception of cybersecurity. You
Oh,
like it. I know that your area of expertise is cyber threat intelligence. It talks about it.
I definitely need to really look at that book.
Yes.
But Gaelle, with that being said, thank you for your time sharing your cybersecurity journey. It's amazing. And the best part, it's only getting started. So you're going to be doing a lot more great stuff. I could definitely see that because you have that passion, you have energy to learn and also, giving back to the community. We need more Gaelles in
Oh
cybersecurity.
my God, thank you, Danny. And then thank you for having me. And it's a honor to have you also doing stuff in the community. And you're also a mentor for me now. So thank you so much. And I hope my story will inspire